chat, session, gain so much, knowledge and insight concerning any subject matter. Direct the conversation in whatsoever way you like, and you can imagine, how much insight, that would come. I was having this thought in my head some time ago, and I was trying to find out something. So I just, started this, chat sequence with AI. It's something about history of Africa, right? And I was shocked at the revelation of things that I was learning. I was asking questions because I was asking a very simple questions. Why is Africa the way Africa is? Why are we like this? I mean, what happened to us? Why are we, what you would term backwards, so to say, compared to, where the most civilized or the most developed, world and all that. And it was this very, serious question I was asking. And I, finished that whole chat sequence. I tried to share the entire link with all my students, and was like, wow, that, he learned a lot from from that interaction. But beyond that, he saw how to, prompt AI in a way to get access to information. So when I consider AI as a superpower, I'm seeing it as something that enables us to do much more than that we could have done. Now, I'm not an advocate of let's get lazy, let's do just, AI should go and do it for you, because I believe there are also risks to that. And it's something I've also tried to help them mitigate. But I'm sure, in the course, as we, have this interaction more, I'll be sharing more on that.
All right, Dr. Azu. I can really relate to the research part that AI has actually helped us to do, because I remember, like, before I knew anything AI, I remember when you are trying to research something and you go to Google and you are not even sure of the concrete information, which link to actually click, you know. So, like me, if I want to research something, go on AI, okay, what link do you think is the most concrete and, verifiable, and ChatGPT does that. Okay, so yes, I can really relate to that. So thank you so much, Dr. Azu. We'll be moving on to Mr. Victor, who will be... Mr. Victor, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Victor.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can. I can hear you, sir. We are pleased to have you here. So, Mr. Victor, drawing from your work in AI and learning science, how do you think AI can help teachers better understand their student learning needs without replacing the teacher's professional judgment?
All right, thank you. So I'll just try to be practical. Should be. If at any time you can't hear me, do let me know. So AI is here to stay. That's first thing. And it's not here to replace teachers, and it should never ever replace teachers. So I'd say rather AI should review what teachers can't always see in the moment. Teachers are overwhelmed, they are burdened, and the lot of mainstream setup, right? They have to cater for every child according to their personality. So to be honest, teacher can only do little or nothing. So AI would help these teachers in practical times, right? To give them early signals. All right. It's not replacing them with their judgment. So with artificial intelligence now, teachers in the classroom, in K-12 setup, they can literally track patterns, insights, right? So that they can have informed data to take informed decisions. And we've seen AI revolutionize the classroom, the K-12 setup, right? And we've seen how AI can analyze how a student stay focused in the classroom, all right? What kind of content they struggle with. We can see AI analyze it. Students take different assessments, different homework, right? Digitalized homework, and AI can literally give the teachers access to behavioral insights. And other things, I think also matter is early identification of learning differences. All right, so AI is really helping teacher understand every student. All right, so a lot of students are in the classroom, trust me, and they have different needs, some language processing issues to attention challenges. So AI is the main thing that can show the why behind a child's difficulty, right? So AI would definitely explain to a teacher. It's not just about score tests, and it's not just about, oh, this child doesn't know what he or she is doing. AI gives the teacher precision, and you can see I started from behavioral insights, so early identification to learning differences. So these things are like a roadmap. It's not a one size fit all kind of thing. If a teacher would do this ordinarily in the classroom, or even a lecturer, you see them jumping, giving gap to jump, but AI gives precision, right? And also you see it reducing teacher overload in the classroom. Non ordinarily what academia is doing now. So instead of manually tracking like 40 students trying to mark their notes, AI with AI now, teacher can really take some ways, right? So teacher can focus on other things, right? On their relationship, their life, their coaching, even actual teaching, because there's actual teaching and there's AI. So you see the gist now. AI is not replacing the professional judgment. It's just strengthening it, right? By turning hidden student data into insight. So the teacher factor is still there, but the teachers are just leveraging the created insight they got in from artificial intelligence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. AI is here to stay. It's not here to replace us, but be a very good assistant to us. So yeah, that's what main stuff I got from what you just said. Thank you so much, Mr. Victor. So we'll be moving on to Mr. Anthony Adejumo. Mr. Anthony, please, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Anthony.
You're welcome.
From your work with universities across Nigeria, what do you think is the biggest opportunity AI offers to higher education right now?
Thank you very much. From my own perspective, and probably let me say from the perspective of the uh, National Universities Commission system-wide, the greatest opportunity lies in closing long-standing structural gap in quality, in access, and productivity by deploying AI as an academic enabler rather than a technological luxury. Specifically, we believe AI offers university the ability to streamline routine academic tasks by allowing faculties to focus more on pedagogy, supervision, mentorship, and research originality. Also, majority of our class, we have large classes in Nigeria. So we believe AI can actually help to tailor personalized and inclusive learning at scale. Also, we believe AI could help university to improve research throughput and reduce the time between conception and publication. Instead of you spending more time, to do your research, to do your coding analysis and all sorts, AI actually enables you to work faster to help you publish in a short time compared to what we used to have before. Also, we believe significantly AI can improve institutional operation and administrative efficiency. You can see some of the things we have experienced in the past. The student will graduate, and even to get the transcripts is sometimes a bottleneck. And we experience that mostly in public universities. I know private universities they are actually making up, but for us, we believe AI has a lot to do. And the greatest opportunity I see right now is that AI will actually help our university to rethink and reshape reshape our teaching, reshape our learning, research our research, and research administration to work smarter, to work, to scale faster when it comes to delivery and to deliver better results. So that is my own thought about the greatest opportunity that AI, brings to Nigeria at the moment. And additionally, I need to tell you that looking at the national, what government has been doing, we have actually taken a right step by ensuring that we include curriculum, AI curriculum, in the university system, just like a GST. And that will actually, this is not limited to this is not limited to computing students alone. This curriculum will actually help every student to embrace AI and mostly ethical use of AI. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adebola.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the next person we'll be going to is Ms. Ramota. Ms. Ramota, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can. I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining us this evening. So as an expert in test and measurement, what meaningful value do you believe AI can bring to how we assess students in Nigeria today?
Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity to join this summit, and to other speakers, thank you for your contribution as well. My opinion as a test and measurement expert, I see AI as a powerful opportunity to make assessments more accurate, more personalized, and more scalable. In Nigeria, we struggle with large classes size and heavy teacher workload. AI can help teachers gather real-time data, identify learning gaps early, and design interventions that improve learning outcomes. What I mean by this is that using AI to assess student essays, it should make the work more faster, and the students can easily get their feedback as soon as possible. And also, there is opportunity for teachers to identify the ability of each student using AI, because there is what we call computer adaptive testing in our field, whereby AI can give students the questions based on their ability. When we look at this JAM exam, we discover that students who who gets one answer will be given another one that is more difficult than the other one. So it is not like the traditional one where all students were given the same question to answer, assuming that they have the same ability. So using AI will help teachers to give questions based on students' ability. And also, it will help reduce test anxiety and increase measurement precision. What do I mean by this is that students who want to write the exam will not be putting their minds on, oh, I want to write exam, I want to write exam. And at the end of the day, there is what we call the upper asymptote in our home field, in which a student who is very brilliant, and at the end of the day, such a student will still fail an exam. So using AI will help to calm that student, and at the end of the day, get the question right. And it will also help automate scoring of essays and portfolios, allowing us to measure critical thinking and not just memorization. What I mean in this by this statement is that AI is not going to stop our critical thinking. No. When you ask AI a question, you give students the opportunity to answer questions, and the question is passed through to them through AI. It will give them a leverage to think more critically before they answer, because they know that AI can easily detect if they are wrong or if they are even guessing. And there are apps now that even detect if students are cheating. If students are cheating, there are apps that detect that. So AI is not going to replace the teacher. It is only going to strengthen the quality and the fairness of assessment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wasak. So from what you have said, to me, I believe that AI solution that will actually help students is why we are here, Academia. So thank you so much, Ms. Wasak. So we'll be going back to Dr. Azu. Yeah, Dr. Azu, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can. Go ahead, Liz.
Okay, so based on your experience in the classroom, what simple but responsible way can educators begin using AI to enhance their lessons and reduce routine workload?
Yeah, so thank you for that question. And I also listened very attentively to the responses of other questions. Very interesting. I really like to follow up conversations with Mr. Debola Adejumo. I don't know if we can actually have more time together, maybe after the event, because I think I have a lot of questions to ask you, particularly what the NUC is doing when it comes to what's happening in Nigeria. So thank you for that very wonderful answer you gave. Yeah. So for me, I want to bring it in three different buckets, and how I have been using AI, and I've also seen many of my colleagues also use AI. Like I said, like I always tell people, generative AI is beyond just AI being able to generate text, images, or videos, right? There's something behind that generation, and that thing is called reasoning. And for me, that's the genius of artificial intelligence. The machine itself that reasons, ability to reason. So beyond just the aspect of generating text or images or videos, like as you can see now, there's something reasoning at the back end, and that thing reasoning at the back end can do a whole lot more. Okay, and the way I like to explain it is, if you have a human, now I'm speaking, right? What you can hear from me are the words I'm saying. But beyond just the words I'm saying, something is processing thoughts behind in my brain, and it's that thought processing that's determining exactly what I'm saying. So if you want to measure my true intelligence, it's not just by what I'm saying, but by the amount of work that is going on in my brain. So AI itself is like that. So the reasoning engine behind AI is very key, and I think we can take more advantage of that. I hear Mr. Debola was talking about the administrative aspects of it, which is true. I've seen a lot of individuals do so many routine work, wasting time, and I believe that AI can, solve. I mean, there's no task you can give anybody right now. No task you can give anybody. That the time it takes you to complete the task is the time it takes to learn how to use AI to do the task, not the task itself. Because there are many, many things that AI can do in terms of task completion or execution that can actually help to speed up our work. For example, okay, we have an instance where someone has different, maybe you have, gradient materials. I mean, you've graded stuff, like we're talking about trying to analyze student performance. You have 1,000 students and you have all of these, test points, all of these data points, and you're trying to find out exactly which points is the most important point or which points are missing. Whatever, task, someone has on that document. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Even if you don't have a premium AI, tool or access to ChatGPT or any of the premium AI services, there are AI tools that can help you pinpoint all of those things as quickly as possible. Or maybe you want to convert from one format to the other. You don't have to sweat about it. All right. So the next part I want to talk about is the research components of it. Like I said, AI. Somebody said actually that the wrong name we give AI is to call it artificial intelligence, because there's nothing artificial about it. Everything AI is producing is a collection of all of human intelligence. So the person said the best name to call it is collective intelligence. And I think I agree, right? Because, whatever AI can do today or what AI is producing is a function of all of our collective intelligences put together. And what that means is that I can actually reach more, okay? If I can reach more, then I can actually create more. What do I mean? About 2 or 3 years ago, when AI became mainstream, I am very particular about allowing my students to do very creative project topics for their final year projects. Very, very creative ones, not just regular, trying to get stuff done. Okay, so usually I would sit and think through ideas and try and do a lot of research to be sure if the idea is feasible before I, suggest suggest that topic to them. And when they get the topic, okay, we now start trying to work through it. But the last 2 years or 3 years or so, it became easier. Okay, now can we mix A and B together? Is it possible? So I've taken you maybe a month or two to read all the research to see how A and B can come together, right? But now in just one chat window, I can ask a question: how can A work with B? I will have maybe 10 or 15 different ways A can work with B. And to be sure that it works, because we write code, right? I'm saying, okay, let's see what the algorithm that would make A and B work together look like. So AI gives us an algorithm, and we'll not take it further. Can we see like a data set? Because we want to have an idea of what data set to bring in. AI gives us an idea of a data set, okay? And we test it, and we can see that A can work with B. So in 30 minutes, we are sure A can work with B, or A can't work with B, or this is a way that A can work with B, right? So the kind of projects that my students do now is better in terms of quality. The other day, so one of them came and was wondering, okay, so my final project topic, I said, give me an idea. He gave me an idea. The idea is very basic. It's boring. So I said, okay, let's try this. Is it possible for us to be able to predict the same way you have the guys in the stock market, predicting, stock prices or stock trades? Can we use that same, concept to predict academic performance, right? And well, okay, now that's it's like two words apart. Like it doesn't make any sense. How do you even begin to fit, that kind of thing together? Okay, okay, let's just have a chat. So we just sat down like 10, 15 minutes, had a few chats with AI, and we were able to see how this whole idea about trading, stocks and stock data, how it aligns with academic data, and how we can begin to use the same principles we do here in order to determine how academic performance, happens here. And I was very, very excited. Okay, so because I can research more, I'm not limited by time and space. I have access to collective intelligence. People have written about this, and AI can actually make connection, even if nobody has written about that connection, but AI can make a connection between what we know about A with what we know about B, combining both together to produce something beautiful. So for me, I see a whole lot of opportunities there, because now there's no more limit to what we can create, the kind of thoughts and ideas that we can test and see how these things can produce meaningful results, right? And if that student goes ahead to is able to achieve it, because that is just one step. One step is, oh, is this possible? Yes, it's possible. The next step is, how can you now creatively turn this into a final year project, going through all of the metrics and rubrics that has been defined for final year projects, and how can you now get that out there, you be graded by an examiner, of course, going through the entire process. Can you now creatively, make this into something that you can, submit as part of the requirement to get a degree? So those are the kind of questions that we should start asking ourselves. So there's no more limitation to what we can produce, because we have this, let me not say infinite. It's finite, but it's huge in what it can produce for us. So from those are the ways I think we can start beginning to think about that. Then I can speak a lot about assessment, about creating course content. I use AI, when I think about what direction I want to go to in terms of, the materials I want to teach, I do my research, combine my research, I can create my course manual in almost, zero time. I can turn my course manual into, slide content in almost no time. I mean, so many things that can happen. And like Mr. Dejimo said, it saves us time. We can now begin to focus on having those FaceTime, one-on-one interaction with students, helping to, help them, mentor them, because motivation itself you cannot automate motivation. No matter how much of AI you have, you cannot automate motivation. Okay, so, when we sit with students, we are talking to them, we are trying to help them, overcome their own challenges. So technical competence is out of the way, and we are, pushing forward towards what is possible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Adibike. The first time you nailed on AI for research. Now I was able to pick AI for creativity. So yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Azu. So we're moving on to Mr. Victor. Okay, Mr. Victor, please can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. No, that I'm clear.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Victor. So many schools want to adopt AI, but they don't know where to start. What guiding principles do you believe they should follow when selecting or working with AI tools for learning?
That's a interesting question. So, I mean, I work with schools, basically K-12 schools, right? And I do tell teachers and school owners that, look, I don't want to use AI, but now that conversation has changed drastically, right? And they need to adopt before they can adapt, right? So the problem was that they were not adopting, so they couldn't adapt. So the guiding principle, I'll split it into four. Number one would be that they need to teach us things to start with the problem, right? Not the tool. So school owners, principals, providers, they should ask themselves, what challenge do they really want to solve, right? What kind of student are they solving for? Are they reducing teachers' workload? Do they want to improve assessment? Do they want to support diverse learners? So they need to understand the problem first, not just tool, not just AI as a tool. So schools shouldn't rush into using AI, because if they do that, AI becomes an alien to them because they won't know how to use it. So they need to understand the problem, start with the problem, and not just the tool. And number two principle would be that there has to be human in the loop at all times. So schools need to understand that AI to them would be an assistant. It's not going to take over the classroom. All right. It's not going to have a predominant authority in that classroom, in that school. So teachers should always be able to override, guide, or reinterpret any insights. Whatever, any use case they want to use AI for, right? Maybe for assessment, maybe to grade work, whatever. Even if AI grades the work, as a teacher, as a school owner, take your time, look at it very well. There should be humans in the loop. And the third principle I'd say it's about, and this one is wrapped around data, right? So I'll say about privacy, safety first. So school must ensure that data is secured. A lot of and because we are contextualizing this conversation around school. If it was about health tech or some other deep tech, you know that data is key. And they need to understand that they are handling kids right now. These are K-12 learners, maybe from age 4 to 18, 4 to 18. These are kids that their parents are not going to joke with their data. So data has to be secured. Whatever the use case is, if it needs to be anonymized, they should anonymize data and it should be handled ethically. Most schools just go and start using ChatGPT. That's an error. That's an error process. There should be a particular system, or I'll say program, that school should be using. There should be an expert there to always hold the teacher by the hand. That, okay, do this, do that. AI is a tool. It's like it can cause World War 4 or 3 if care is not taken. So there has to be some ethics, some measures put into places. All right. But they need to understand, they need to let parents know the reason why they are using AI in the schools. Parents should know what kind of data is collected and why they are collecting that data, or why they are using AI to collect this data. And the fourth principle I would say is to school owner on this conversation: start small, right? Test and learn and scale. It's just like every startup, or you want to build a house, you won't just carry one house and put it on the land. No, there has to be land, surveyors, cement, foundation. So there are foundation to this thing, foundational level, foundational knowledge. Begin with a specific grade level or a learning area. If you have a school, if you need to teach or enroll your teachers so they can understand the foundational basis of AI, at least a layman understanding. Don't just throw chat GPT to them, solar AI to them, meta AI to them. No, don't just throw any enterprise AI to them. Let them know the foundational level. As I said, let them be human in the loop. So these principles, it ensures that AI is used responsibly, effectively, ethically, and sustainably in schools. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Victor. That was a very, very good one. Understanding the tool, having a human expert to actually teach the people how to use the AI, and securing the data of these kids they are using the AI for. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Victor. Uh, I believe most of us noted those points down. Okay, so we'll be moving to Mr. Adejumo. Mr. Adejumo, please, can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay.
Hello.
You okay? You can hear me. Okay, so um, you contributed to the National AI Policy Framework. What key principles should educators keep in mind when deciding how to use AI in teaching and assessment?
Thank you very much for the question. And before I go, answer that question, I just want to let you to inform you that apart from the national AI framework that I contributed in, uh, just this week we just created a roadmap for AI integration into the Nigerian university system, and that was as a result of the national AI framework, because the national AI framework is generic and is multi-sectorial. So we focus on tertiary education and produce a very good one, which UNESCO actually appreciated the initiative, and they even applaud us that that is the first in Africa. So moving forward, the national framework and even the roadmap that was developed for the NUS emphasize more on responsible, ethical, and equitable and purposeful use of AI in education. And for me, I believe the key principles that educators should keep in mind when deciding how to use AI in teaching and assessment should be anchored in ethical principles. Because without ethical principles, the whole AI story will become a mess. It's just like it driving without a brake. So, and when you adopt ethical principle of AI, AI usage, this procedure need to include data privacy. And I want to agree with Mr. Ogunbi. He talked about for you to adopt before you adapt. So data privacy is critical for for ensuring that data are not abused. Even whatever we do with whichever tools we use for AI, if it's ChatGPT, Copilot, or whatsoever, you have to ensure that you use it responsibly and ethically, not sharing personal identification identifiable information. So, and that is the essence of the NDP, National Data Protection Act. So, which we feel no matter what you are using, data privacy is critical when it comes to AI. Also, we believe ethical responsibility should include academic integrity. And when we talk about academic integrity, we believe that students, AI should support but not replace student learning and critical thinking. And also, there should be full disclosure when you use AI tools to ensure that our students understand the boundaries of acceptable use. So how do you ensure this is actually is implementable? You have to be ensure that there are the right policy, the right guidelines, the right procedure on ground for you to adopt AI. If there is no policy to adopt, then I don't know what the AI story of Nigeria is going to be. So I think with this, we need to appreciate the federal government for even coming out with the idea of having an AI strategy, and also what we have done to ensure that we are on the same pedestrian in terms of AI. Also, you look at academic and algorithmic fairness. So what we're talking about fairness is to ensure that even with the use of AI system, no student or any group should be disadvantaged, because the moment that happens, then the fear, there is no more fairness with the use of AI. Also, you talk about transparency, which your whatever the policy, what you tend to to achieve with AI, you must ensure transparency, and transparency has to do with the output of whatever you generated from AI. You should be able to say this is the tools I use at this part of at this point, this is what I did, and this is what this is what I think I should probably do better. Even the lecturers too, you should be able to conceptualize whatever is used with AI. So in essence, transparency is critical when it comes to the use of AI. Inclusiveness also is critical, and for me, I believe I look more about the pedagogical alignment and human oversight. Whatever we do with AI, oversight is critical. We need to put in mind that we need the human oversight to always come, at every point of it, because AI will generate depending on how you prompt it, but at the same time, AI should not take over our critical thinking. We should be thinking for AI, but an AI helping us on how to do things right. So these principles ensures AI enhances teaching and most importantly, safeguarding academic standard. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adejumo. A big well done to your contribution of AI integration to tertiary institution. Well appreciated, sir. So we'll be moving on to the our next speaker. Um, this question would be the last for all our speakers. Would have loved to continue, but my time is fast spent. So, Miss Wazak, please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. For teachers who feel overwhelmed by new technologies, what are some practical steps they can take to start using AI for planning lessons, feedback, and assessment?
Thank you so much. As I've said before, teachers don't need to start big. Um, Teachers can start small by using AI as a supporting tool, not a replacement for their expertise. Take for instance, for learning lesson planning, AI tools can quickly generate lesson outlines, worksheets, differentiated activities, and bloomed aligned objectives that teachers can then customize. For instance, when we look at the design of ACAD AI, we can see that it will help teachers. It is very easy to use, and teachers can easily send their lesson notes to it, and in within a minute or a second, it will return the type of questions they want, be it a multiple choice or an essay question, and also design the feedback, the kind of answer that it is expected of them. So AI can help mark quizzes, they can generate personalized comments through it, and it can help them analyze the common errors in the students' work, such that the teachers will be able to know where the next assessment will take and where to improve their teaching. So teachers, um my advice is that teachers should just start with one tool. When they want to start using AI, they just start with one tool, and when they have mastered that tool, they can now continue. And also, they can have a peer-to-peer sharing to share ideas on how to use this AI and how to go about it and how to improve themselves. The era of I don't want to share my knowledge, or I don't want to let others know what I know, it is gone, because everybody can is now having access to everybody is now having access to knowledge, because knowledge is now an open space. Somebody once said that the university is now open, everybody can access it. So even if you try to use a certificate to intimidate somebody, that person can use AI to get the knowledge. So I think teachers should just start small, and they can grow as technology improves. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Wazak. Thank you to all our amazing speakers there, to Dr. Azu, Mr. Anthony, Mr. Victor, and Ms. Wazak. Thank you for the insights and the very explanatory answers. I'm sure I'm not the only one that jotted down useful points, as regarding what has been spoken about today. Thank you so much. Um, Thank you very much for engaging with us. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica, for that session. Thank you for moderating it. And thank you
Thank
so
you
much
very much,
to
everyone. But I was thinking there'll be a room for questions, one or two questions. The
yes, ma'am, there'll be a room
talks
for
were
questions. Yes,
educative, but I
ma'am.
was thinking there'll be a room for one or two questions. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am,
Please,
there'll be room for
you ask me
questions.
for questions. You should
Yes,
allow me
please.
to ask questions before you end up the meeting anyway.
No, sir, the
It's
session
fine.
hasn't ended. There'll be
Focus on
room
this
for
time.
questions.
No problem. Go
Sorry
on.
about that, sir.
All
We're
right.
following the schedule. There'll be room for questions. So thank you so much to our panelists for that powerful and insightful conversation. I believe that we could gain new perspectives, and not just new, important perspectives, and I'm glad we could explore them together. Now, before we move forward, we would love to take a moment to hear from our official partner for today's summit, BrainBlocks. They're doing amazing work in the education and technology space, and we're excited to have them with us. I will now invite Mr. Henry Onabajo to share a brief message. Mr. Henry, the floor is yours. Briefly, please. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everybody. So just give me a second to share my screen. Can anybody hear me? Yeah, all right, thank you very much.
Loud and clear.
All right, thank you. So, please, are you able to see my screen? All right, thank you.
Yes, we can see it.
All right, thank you very much. Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Henry Onabajo. I'm a data scientist, mathematical programmer, and the founder of BrainBlocks. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm grateful to Acadia for the opportunity. In line with the theme of this event, Redefining AI in Africa, I will be speaking on the integration of AI in education. So within the next 10 minutes, I will be telling us about BrainBlocks, why we are able to contribute to this event, as is our experience in tech education, and the relevance or impact of AI in education. So yeah, let's get started. So BrainBlocks is a technological company specialized in the development of AI-driven solutions and tech education. Since commencement this year, around July, BrainBlocks Go School has trained 30 plus students from all over the world in various tech fields, with our youngest students just being 9 years old. I would, if I'm able to round up in time, I would share us videos of reviews from some of our students which are actively studying at Babcock University. So our strategic partnership with Acad AI aligns with our belief, doing more with less. And this partnership strengthens our mission to debunk the myths surrounding the involvement of AI in education and bring enlightenment to schools and their students, because sometimes it's shocking in 2025 where schools are resistant to the idea of artificial intelligence. So you can check us out on LinkedIn as well at BrainBlocks Code School to see the marvelous things we're doing with our students. Truly, we are building the next generation of tech giants. So as a tech education company, BrainBlocks has experienced the impact of AI in education from both the positive and negative sides. we admit that a lot of work still needs to be done before artificial intelligence can be fully integrated into the education system. We've had situations whereby students were assigned assignments and it was discovered that AI did it for them. It's relatively easy for us to detect AI usage because of the way we set our academic structure and brain blocks. I'll discuss that in the next slide. However, this isn't the first time the education system has experienced a major evolution, because that's what this is. Artificial intelligence is bringing a major evolution to the educational system. The introduction of scientific calculators stirred up a similar reaction and similar debates. Educators considered scientific calculators the end of critical thinking among students. And do we still agree with them? Honestly speaking, yes and no, because when scientific calculators are introduced too early to students, it weakens foundational knowledge, causing over-dependence even for basic tasks. Imagine, what's it called? A primary school student already using a scientific calculator, using it for basic computations, and then when they get to JS1 or something, just to add up maybe 20 plus 20, they no longer believe in their abilities to, accurately give the results. So they still have to punch it into the calculator to verify, and that's not too good. So, however, the system adapted in a way that simply having a calculator at hand doesn't guarantee success. And even at that, not all students could effectively maximize its capabilities. Educators came up with new ways to evaluate students that even required usage of the very tool they protested. So do we see the correlation between scientific calculators and artificial intelligence now? All right. So yeah, I'm throwing the question to, okay, before we even move that. So let's have a quick scenario. Two students are given a quadratic equation to solve. One has a calculator and the other doesn't. They both happen to be correct with the same exact answers. So they got the same answers, they've done everything. In the situation whereby the student that used the scientific calculator didn't follow due process, that's the only way we'll be able to catch that. That is when the only way we'll be able to catch that this student used scientific calculators. And artificial intelligence is getting to that stage too, because it's difficult. Yeah, we see how fast AI is progressing. It's going to be very difficult to tell when a student uses artificial intelligence for certain tasks, and what do we do when we get to that point. And this is a significant reason to why the grading system for mathematics is process-oriented rather than result-oriented. And that's also one of the things we try to account for at Brain Blocks. So I'll train the question to the audience. You can drop your responses in the chat section. How do you control or detect AI usage among your students? That's for those of us that are educators. And if you are not an educator, but you feel like there's a brilliant way you feel you could handle this, please let us know in the chat. So get to it. Thank you. So, and we'll be mentioning artificial intelligence because some of our students are here actually. I'm not sure they're still here, but what is artificial intelligence? So I'm going to define it, tell us the pros and cons of AI in education, and the popular AI tools we have as well. So artificial intelligence refers to the development of computer systems capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. So it's not just ChatGPT or generative AI that's artificial intelligence. We have our students have built X and systems to play X and O, optimization systems that would normally require hours of calculations, but we've streamlined it into systems and different things. So all those still fall into artificial intelligence, not just generative AI like ChatGPT and co. So AI can be categorized into different types based on capabilities. We have the narrow AI, which is weak AI, designed to perform a specific task, such as virtual personal assistants like Siri and Alexa. And then we have general AI, strong AI. This aims to replicate human intelligence across a wide range of tasks. This is still largely theoretical. And this is what ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, all of them, this is what they are aiming for. They are not there yet, but this is what they are aiming for. And with the way things are going with the quantum computing and all, it doesn't seem far away. All right, so the pros of AI in education. We have personalized learning, data-driven insights, instant feedback, and it enhances engagements, automates administrative tasks, and gives access to quality learning materials. For those of us that have used the Acad AI system, we would discover that Acad AI has bodied a lot of these benefits, right? So you notice if this is also me saying, if you've not tried it out, go and try it out. You would see what we are talking about. So you would notice it offers personalized learning in the sense that personalized learning and instant feedback, because after each assessment with students, it gives a feedback, right, on the mistakes the students made and even points out areas for them to study. So that enhances engagement, because when they do it, they can get to ask their teachers questions. They know where they make mistakes. Sometimes students will come and meet you that I got this, I wrote almost the same thing with this person and this person. Why did I miss it? So taking so much time, interrupting classes, but by the time you've published the results to them, they already know what this is. So automate administrative tasks. The entire point of Acad AI is to automate grading and save time. So yeah, that's just it. Then also we have the disadvantages of AI in education, and some of this really need to be addressed before. I think my major issue is the reduced creativity, right? That's the one issue we really need to hold with iron grip. But the rest, reduced human interaction, inequalities in access, overdependence on technology, lack of emotional intelligence, and high implementation costs. So once again, I'll use Acad AI as an example. So when you grade with Acad AI, right, it doesn't replace teachers. Because I was listening to the panelists and I really love what they were saying. Artificial intelligence is not here to replace anybody. When used correctly, it is a superpower. It is definitely a superpower, because reduced human interaction, it doesn't do that. Just something that it's, for example, now when Acad AI grades, it doesn't just immediately just release the results to students. Teachers still have the opportunities to, reassess the assignment. Just that Acad AI has already given the pointers, it has given the rubrics at which it's used to, measure its grading and everything. Then, as for the lack of emotional intelligence, Acad AI is not going to consider that, oh, this A grade student had a bad day, she had bad internet connection. That is still the job of teachers to, consider. So AI is not here to replace anybody. Then finally, as we conclude, sorry, give me a second. Okay, yes. The future of AI in education. Artificial intelligence has come to stay, whether we like it or not. And sooner or later, it's become a norm in the educational system. And with this will come new ways of educating and evaluating students. Innovative tools like Acad AI have proven that AI can be of benefit to not just students, but educators as well. Automating strenuous tasks and providing timely, actionable feedback. Future of AI in education is promising. So with this, thank you very much for listening. The videos of our reviews will drop it in the channel, not to waste anybody's time. So thank you. Questions can come in now. Well, let me hand over to Angela.
Thank you, Mr. Henry, for that message and for being part of the event. And you asked a question, you particularly narrowed it down to educators. They asked them, how can they detect when AI has been used in an assignment, or something like that? So Mr. Adejumo said, to detect or control, you must ensure there is a policy in place to encourage students to use AI, but ensure academic integrity. He also said that students can use it to get insights, but they should use their own critical thinking and ideas to complete the assignment. That's great. Thank you, Mr. Dejimo, for that response.
You're welcome.
Yes. So, all right, everyone, we're moving into our Q&A session. Please feel free to raise your hand or drop your question in the chat and we'll take them one after the other. Please feel free to raise your hand and you'll be called on to ask the question, or you drop it on the chat and then I'll read it and our panelists will respond.
Okay, so Dr. Azu had to step out briefly, but he has sent me a message saying that if there's anybody who has a question for him directly, the question should be made known and would provide the answers when giving the event recap. So just to put that out there. So at this point, we can take questions, and we have our speakers on the call to respond to any question, whether to our partner or to any of our speakers, or even to our moderator. Any question at all. Thank you.
Please, we're still waiting. Feel free to ask your questions.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening,
Yeah.
Doctor.
Yes, I have a question. Sorry, I could not locate the raising hand icon here.
Okay,
I want to first of all appreciate our speakers for the very insightful and informative presentation they made.
I tried.
My question, two presenters talked about, one talked about how, answer question on how teachers can start, and also how institutions can integrate, AI in their activities. I was expecting an answer that will help the teacher to really start. What I heard is that the teacher can start small, and institutions also can start small. I will appreciate if teachers could be told, start with this. Institutions, start with this. It will help than leaving it at a start small. At least let the teachers know the tool, the most basic tool to start with. Thank you. I don't know if my question is taken.
Yes, thank you. Your question is very clear. As an assessment expert, teachers can start with tools like WhatsApp. Also, they can start with tools like Google Meet to start with. Those are AI tools, and there is a misconception concerning AI. Many people think that AI is something that is really ambiguous, but I want to tell you that anything that can do the work of human is AI. Your fan in your home is AI. Your grinder is AI. Likewise, that applications you are using, the phone you're also using is AI. So, but there are some specific app that can be used for academic purposes. So one of it is WhatsApp. We can have Google. We can have we can also have let us just say teachers should just start with something that is highly relatable, something they can move very fast with in learning, and they can have people who can share with them. And also, when we look at the structure of ACAD AI, it has been made simpler in such a way that teachers can easily interact with the interface of the application and just start using it. So I think I would suggest for assessment, teachers should start with ACAD AI because it's highly friendly. I've used other assessment to other AI assessments, but I can tell you categorically that ACAD AI is very, very friendly, and it's also it is designed in such a way that it captures the Nigerian culture and the African culture of using technology. So let's say I'm suggesting for assessment and for interaction, I would suggest just to start with WhatsApp because it is very interactive and it is widely known to start with. Thank you.
Sorry,
Thank you
can
very
I
much
add?
for putting it through.
Okay, sorry, can I add to just the question? Mrs. Razak Ramosa just said teacher can start with other, a lot of tools, which I actually agree with her. For me, I feel the first point here is teacher must learn to be digital fluency because the classroom of yesterday is different from the classroom of today. So for a teacher, you must learn to be digital fluency by using productivity tools. Let me just say AI productivity tools to help you for teaching and even help your student to learn. Because you deal with issues that are more pedagogically, that are more pedagogically adaptation skills, which students need to learn. You need to come out with curriculum ideas. You need to to administer those curriculum and ensure that the instructional ideas is clear to students. So teacher can learn, learn to use tools, but majorly for me, I feel the institutions have a lot of responsibility because you can't expect teachers to be investing in different kind of tools to use. So, for example, for a school, you must have a clear path on what kind of AI productivity tools you want your teachers to use. Because having that will have everybody to be in sync, to be able to learn the same thing, and that will actually also help the student, teacher to deploy tools that the student can use, and they will be able to tutor the students to let them navigate those tools easily. So it's quite important for teachers to learn, to learn to be, digital fluency and ensure that their data literacy and ethical compliance and competence is at least so at intermediate level. This will actually help them, uh, teach better because some of the students we have now, I can tell you, a lot of them are, they are just ahead. If you see a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, and you'll be amazed what they do with, handling uh, IT, devices. And some of them, what they do with AI tools, you'll be amazed. So for teachers, while you invest in your own skills to gain a long-term competitive advantage of what you do, the institution as well need to do the same thing too. Because for every institution that deploy tools that help the student, their teachers to grow in terms of learning skills, they have positioned themselves for a competitive advantage in the future. And I think with what ACAD has done with their tools, I think these are just one of the foundational tools that can actually help. I've seen a lot of tools. I've seen people, deploying tools that can actually help you translate, English to your local language to learn better. So there are a lot of tools coming in now, and I feel the mix of all these tools will help to make the teacher a 21st century or generative AI compliance teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Razak, and thank you, Mr. Adejumo. Dr. Ijoma, has that answered your questions?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
ma.
grateful. I have more insight now.
Okay, ma. Thank you for your questions.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other question? Please feel free to drop it in the group chat or raise your hand. All right. In the absence of any questions, we'll be moving on to the next segment. And once again, thank you, Dr. Ijoma, for your question. And thank you, Ms. Razak and Mr. Anthony, for your insightful answers. Okay, now before we close, we would love to take a short moment to reflect. So if you're comfortable, please share one thing you're taking away from today's panel session. It could be an idea or a lesson or something that shifted your thinking or perspective. You can unmute your mic or drop it in the chat, please. If there is anything any of our panelists said or our partner said, please feel free to share with us what you've taken home or what you're taking home from
All
this
right.
conversation.
Please, can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. One of the speakers, or virtually all of them, talked about AI not coming to replace any educator. Talked about thinking critically and using it responsibly, ethically, and all of that stuff. I want to say categorically that because some have it that once you use AI, your human thinking will be impaired. It is not true. For you to get something reasonable from AI, you will prompt correctly. And for you to prompt correctly, you must have done some thinking, critical thinking. Because if you don't prompt correctly, of course, the output or the feedback you have may not help in what the person wants to do. So what I'm taking home is that AI is not replacing me as an educator. Rather, I'll have to, improve on what I know already and flow with the trend of knowledge. Because knowledge is never static. It is dynamic. Knowledge is evolving, especially as it concerns technology. So that fear, oh, this AI has come, or the fear that, oh, my students know more than me. Collaboration is allowed. Even the students can teach the teacher in one way or the other. And the teacher trying to always pose as the Superman or the Superwoman and will shy away from, oh, this student have even known some things more than me. The teacher is doing harm to himself or to herself. So let that confidence be there. AI has not come to replace anyone, but we have to work on ourselves to use it so that it will help us to facilitate what we are doing. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Ijoma. Thank you so much for that takeaway or take home. Thank you for that. AI hasn't come to replace educators, but to facilitate and to support your job, your work. Thank you so much, Dr. Ijoma.
You're
So
welcome. You're welcome.
we're now at the final part of our event. Oh, hold on. Okay, sorry. Okay, from sorry, another take away from Islamia Abro. I'm sorry if I'm getting the pronunciation wrong. Good evening, everyone. She says, good evening, everyone. Thanks to the organizers and resource people. In today's meeting, I learned that AI is a necessity to become relevant in today's academic world. Brilliant. Thank you for that takeaway, take home. Thank you for that. With the way the world is evolving, definitely you need to stay ahead, 10 steps ahead. So thank you for that. And thank you to our panelists for that insightful session. Thank you to our speakers, our partner, Brain Block, and every educator and student who have joined us today. Your energy and commitment to shaping the future of education in Africa means a lot. And let's keep pushing, innovating, and building together. But before we officially close, I would like the speakers first to oblige me with this request. We'd love to take a quick virtual group photo. So please, I'm requesting that all our speakers turn on their cameras if they can. Take a group virtual picture.
Just 1 minute, I will find a way to get that done.
All right, Ma, thank you. Angela, to confirm, Dr. Zhu is not in the group, right?
Yes. And I'm thinking maybe we could also have our partner and moderator joining the first photo. Our audience joining.
All right. Please, Jessica and Mr. Henry, please turn on your cameras.
Okay, I think Mr. Victor also stepped out.
Okay.
So without
Can you see me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Please let's have Dr. Ijoma turn on her camera. She was very instrumental to our panel session. Please, Dr. Ijoma, please can you turn on your camera?
Let's have these speakers and the moderator, and then we have our audience joining the group photo.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Victor is back. So
please, Mr. Victor, please turn on your camera.
yes, we're taking pictures.
Okay.
Mr. Anthony, I think yes, we can see you, Victor. We can see you, Mr. Victor. Mr. Anthony, we're waiting on you to take a group photo. And Jessica, if you mute.
I'm on. Can you see my picture?
Oh, I'm not seeing. I can't see you, Mr. Anthony. Treasure, I can't see you. I'm just, I still can't see you. Maybe it's the network. Maybe it's mine. Okay, Mr. Anthony, I can see you now. I'm not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
appearing in two places. All right.
Okay, I can see you now. Okay, Treasure, Jessica, I'm taking the group photo now. If you could all turn around. Okay, one taking, I'm taking another one. Can we say something fun like AI in Africa? Just like
AI in Africa.
okay, when I say one to go, we'll do AI in Africa. Just a moment. Let me turn this to video. So, okay. So, 3, 2, 1, go. AI in Africa.
AI in Africa.
In Africa.
AI in Africa. Great, fantastic. Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Okay, Treasure, so you can close the session. Our time is fast.
I will chat you privately. I have some questions for you regarding assessments from the agency.
Okay.
All right, sir.
All right. Thank you once again for joining us tonight. Have a great evening, and let's keep redefining education in Africa together. Good night.
Good night, bye-bye.